Hey guys, so as I said a few days ago, Morbius is the worst Spider-Man movie ever. It is. It's the worst out of everything else. And yes, I consider it a Spider-Man movie because it is part of Sony's Spider-Man universe. And this movie seriously makes TASM 2 look well constructed. And as we all know, that's probably one of the biggest messes, to put it in nice terms, that I've watched in my time as a film critic on YouTube. This movie isn't a mess. It's nothing. It's like literally nothing. Like there's no meat on the table. There's nothing. It's like a sandwich that has nothing between that has no bread or nothing between the bread. It's literally nothing. Like I could seriously spend an hour ranting on about the things in this movie that I thought sucked, and I would do that if I didn't introduce the like pros and cons list at the end of a review that I implemented in my Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan review that I'm gonna start doing now. But but I feel like this movie is best reviewed in short and sweet terms, because not only is it awful, there's nothing to talk about because it's a nothing movie. So I'm gonna be nice to start off and talk about the things in this movie that I liked. I thought it could be mildly entertaining at times, but there's a big asterisk next to that because it's kind of boring, to be honest, and it's kind of at one point it got like just ridiculous. And I will say though that Matt Smith is the only legit solid positive of this film. Like you can tell that he's really trying to make the most out of this god awful script. There's a scene of him shirtless after he gets his vampire powers, dancing, and a lot of people compare it to the Bully Maguire memes, and I respect that because it's legit one of the most entertaining parts of the movie. And that's not saying anything major because it's not a very entertaining movie either on account of being really bad, but it's a start. Now, as I said before, I could go on for an hour ranting on about the things in this movie that I thought didn't work. Like, I could say that the script is horrible, because it is. I could say that the pacing and editing are awful, because they are. I can say that the action surprisingly was just like dribble. But and that surprised me too. But there's one thing in particular that I would rather talk about than any of those things, and it's how they use the MCU's Vulture. Yeah, I said the MCU's Vulture. They brought back Michael Keaton to reprise Adrian Toomes of Earth 199999 in a cameo in a post-credits scene that shows that the writers of the movie were not told about the events of Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, I remember seeing this scene leaked on YouTube before the movie came out. I didn't watch the movie before a few weeks ago. I watched it through means that I can neither confirm nor deny. But what's important is that I watched it and confirmed that it was real, and it's real. Like this scene, I thought this was a joke, but it's real. Like they use the spell from Spider-Man No Way Home that sends all the multiverse villains back home and make everyone forget that Spider-Man's Peter Parker. They use that to send Michael Keaton to this fucking backwater alternate Spider-Man-less Spider-Man universe just because Vulture knew he was Peter Parker. And he still knows that Spider-Man was involved somehow, and he shouldn't even know that that's possible. Like, it's so bad. And I'm not even gonna get into how they mischaracterize him because he's like to, sorry, because he goes up to Morbius in the post-credit scene, and he's like, "Hey, I don't know how I got here, but I think it has to do with Spider-Man. so I want to." So I want to team up and make a Sinister Six so we can fucking kill Spider-Man. it's so, it's so shit. It's so bad. I just I remember back when I saw the scene leaked on YouTube before it was blocked. That scene like had my jaw on the floor with like just pure horror. Now it makes me laugh because it shows that Sony not only doesn't know how to like handle Spider-Man movies anymore, especially villain movies, but they don't know how to handle the Spider-Man characters that Marvel created, like this version of Vulture, who is a much more compelling villain than this Saturday morning cartoon looking ass. Like, how do you even get a Vulture suit? It's a different universe, and he doesn't even know where he is. Like, and if the Vulture doesn't even exist in this universe, what? So yeah, this movie sucked. It's awful. I would not recommend you ever watch it because I only wanted to watch this movie one time, and it was just so I could never see it again. And I can say with full transparency that you are not missing anything by not watching this movie. Like, it shouldn't even be canon. It breaks established MCU lore. Like, it breaks that canon so hard that it's not. And I'm not even going to get into how we have another defanged villainous character that eats people from the comics. So yeah, this movie's a 2 out of 10. No doubt about it. Not even. No. Just, it sucks. So yeah, this is basically beating a dead horse at this point because like everyone else has said this, but if you don't want bad movies like this to continue to be made, don't go see it. Like, continue making these awful Spider-Man villain movies flop. Like, they're not even villains. They're just like edgy good guys that go on PG-13 adventures. Like the Craven movie, like the Craven the Hunter movie with Quicksilver, that's going to be horrible. That's not going to be good. Don't watch that. That's going to be the next Catwoman 2004. And I say that with a very specific, and I know that's a specific thing to compare it to, but it's just I can just feel it that it's going to be bad, and that Across the Spider-Verse did wisely by dodging the competition at the box office, because Craven's already going to be done and dusted by the time that gets to theaters. So, if you want to see a competent superhero movie, go see that. At least it has an interesting take on a villain in The Spot, which is going to be the main villain of Across the Spider-Verse. And I think that movie is going to be great, just solely because I know just solely because Sony seems to actually care about making Spider-Man movies. When they make Spider-Man movies, they're good. When they make movies about his villains, they defang them and they make them bad. So don't go watch these movies. Watch these ones. These ones are destined to fail. Like, if they do a Sinister Six Avengers movie in the future, that's never going to happen. Like, it's not going to be sinister because we're not going to have any bad people on the team. Like, you get what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not even going to tell you to like drop a like or leave a comment or anything because I want to get this review over with so I can finish watching Dragon Ball Z Wrath of the Dragon. Fantastic movie, 10 out of 10.